Let me just make sure I'm live as usual, and I will get this thing kicked off. Let me just double check something real quick. Let me see. It appears as I'm probably not going to have anybody watching, as I have been gone for about a month from GPA Saturdays, but it's okay because I know people watch it after it's been uploaded. Let me just double check something real quick. Come on, man. So anyways, for whatever reason, I'm not live. Well, I can't see myself on my phone. Oh, wait, there it is. Finally. So anyways, for whatever reason, I'm not live. Okay, cool. Okay, so what's going on, everybody? I want to thank the one watcher who's watching right now, but it's okay. Okay, so I've been gone for a while. I know, like 3 or 4 weeks of missed GPA Saturday. Reason being is because like 3 weeks ago, 2 or 3 weeks ago, I had a wedding and a funeral the same day, and I had to fly out of state for both of those. And then my wife was without a car for like 2 or 3 weeks, so I had to get her a car as well. And typically you can only do stuff like that on the weekends when you're shopping for a car. Shopping for a car can be kind of tough, man. It's almost like shopping for a house almost, you know. Plus we had to drive all the way to Dallas to get it, but it's all good. I'm back for a GPA Saturday. I know it's going to take time for people to get used to me being back on Saturdays, but I do plan on continuing this. Why? Because it gives me time to ramble and for you to listen to my rambling. So also, guys, I've been having problems with my microphone, so if any time, I'm going to check it periodically. If there's at any time you guys have been you notice that my audio is off a little bit or sounds distorted, let me know in the comment section or something, and I know how to fix it real quick, but it's usually just like a temporary fix. So yeah, anyways, seems to be going good so far. Let me share my screen. Got a couple plugs as always. Y'all know how we do. Let me see here. Share screen. All right. I'm still doing comic book pressing. I want to thank, man, I've had quite a few people over the past couple weeks that have sent me books. I want to thank you very, very much. I really appreciate it. In a way, you actually help support this channel through your comic books submissions for pressing and cleaning. Guys, anybody knows that when you do a YouTube channel, especially if you devote a lot of time into it, it takes time from family life, from work life, stuff like that. And I don't monetize my videos. Let me be clear on that. I do not monetize. A couple of reasons. Number one, the main reason, I like to be in control of everything that I do. And that includes Google and YouTube telling me what to do and what I can, you know, record. I don't need anybody controlling me or telling me what I can do, trying to censor me and all this other stuff. I'm here to exercise my rights, my, you know, Second Amendment rights, free speech, or I mean, my amendment rights of free speech. I think Second Amendment is right to bear arms. I can't remember, but anyways, I just don't like being controlled. So anyways, you do help support this channel by submitting books to get pressed and cleaned. And I got some other cool things in the future that I know you guys are going to want to be a part of, but I don't want to disclose any of that until I get everything in order. So, but take advantage of these promotions that I got going on, guys. These are not going to last forever. I've had a lot of people compliment, give me positive feedback on how this is probably one of the best deals right now as far as pressing and cleaning, and I think so as well. I'm considering maybe doing some services for trade, but it all depends on what I want. I'm not going to do any services for a whole bunch of dollar books. for people or anything like that, a bunch of trash. It has to be something that I'm interested in order to do it. But it is something I'm seriously considering because I never considered it before until recently. I was working with somebody on Instagram, and I'm going to press some books for him for some books for trade. So that is that. Also, guys, tomorrow, our 8th affordable auction right here on Strictly Comics. I'm super excited. I can't believe I've done 8 of these already. It's going to be myself. I'm going to have Jesse from JLS Comics and Justin from EXILESTATE Comics. They're going to join me. Although right here, you can see it says 6 p.m. Eastern. I'm going to kick this off at 5:30. Reason being is because Walking Dead season premiere starts at 9. And I am not going to compete with The Walking Dead. I already know a lot of people are going to be watching it. So I want to try to have this wrapped up before The Walking Dead starts at 9 p.m. Eastern. Or no, wait. Yeah. They do start at 9 p.m. Eastern. So, well, I guess that gives me time. I guess that gives me like 3.5 hours. Anyways, it's not going to be a lot of time because these auctions can take quite a while, especially when you're trying to auction for a whole bunch of books and you have a whole bunch of people, not a whole bunch of people, but you got other people trying to sell books with me. So we're going to try to get all this done before then. Also, check me out on Instagram. What I've been doing this week, I've been posting all the books that we're going to be auctioning off. I started doing that a couple of days ago. I started out with Jesse's books. Today, I'm going to do Justin's books. And then today and tomorrow, I'm going to post all of my books that I'm going to have up for sale in the auction starting tomorrow. So check me out on Instagram. That way you guys get notice of what's going to be involved in the auction. Or you can check out, Comic Book Fanatics Facebook page. You can also check out New York Warriors Facebook page. And there's a couple others. What's the other one? Nerds of Anarchy. They're more of a Houston local Facebook page, but you can check them out as well just to see what all I'm going to be auctioning off tomorrow. Also Thursdays, 8:30 Eastern over on JLS Comics. It will be myself, Jesse from JLS Comics, Justin from EXILESTATE Comics, and then Chris from Buckshot 33. We are doing Comic Conversation. I think we did like episode 60 last Thursday, and so next week will be episode 61. It's a lot of episodes to be talking about comic books and stuff, but anyways, it was good time, good to be back. I think it was like the first or second time in like 2 or 3 weeks that we were on, so definitely check us out if you're able to. Thursdays at 8:30 Eastern over on JLS Comics. And then also check out Jesse and Justin over on comicbook.com. Justin is the managing editor over there, and they're always looking for writers if anybody's interested in doing any writing for comic book related reviews, topics, pop culture stuff, and whatnot. Check him out. Also, I'm raffling this off right now. This is an Avengers number 1 5.0. This is being raffled over on the Treasure Chest Facebook page. You need to be invited to this Facebook page in order to participate in the raffle or any raffles, buying or selling if you're interested. You do need to become friends with me on Facebook first in order for me to give you the invite. But if anybody's interested, it's $25 a spot, and I think it's 132 spots total to try to win this bad boy. This is about a $3,000 book, CGC 5.0. So that is actually currently going on right now. Just hit me up on Instagram, or you can comment here, but probably the best way to get in touch with me is on Instagram. But anyways, that's being raffled off right now. I've got about 20 spots filled already, and still a long ways to go. So, all right, so let's go ahead and get right into this. There's a few things that I do want to talk about. Let me unshare my screen. Okay. A few things I wanted to talk about. One of the things is that we got notice. We got a trailer drop from the New Mutants about a week ago. Yeah, it was last Friday the 13th, as a matter of fact. And so those are actually some of the books that I wanted to go over. Now, I did have a CGC fan. He gave me some books to look up, and I'm going to do that as well. But I'm going to get into first the New Mutants books and what to look for. I noticed a lot of people are kind of like gravitating towards New Mutants #1. Good book to have, but it's not their first appearance. So let's go ahead and get right into this. I'm going to go ahead and share my screen again because I've already got some of this stuff prepped. And so we can see what it is that we actually need to be looking for, because this is a movie that's going to drop in less than 6 months. I hope everybody's seen that trailer. Let me see here. All right. So this is like the first book you're going to want to check out. This is this is actually Marvel graphic novel #4. This is the first appearance of the New Mutants. It is not New Mutants #1. That is, I guess, like their second appearance. This is the book that you're going to want to have. This book I bought 2 or 3 years ago for like, I think it was like $20, and then I bought a second copy for like $8. And then as soon as the movie was announced, this book just went through the roof. Now, this, in my opinion, is probably pretty affordable, but one of the couple things you need to look at when it comes to this book, they did 3 or 4 printings, okay? And the first printing, if I'm not mistaken, this should be a first printing. Let me just double check and see what he's got. He doesn't say, but I'm pretty sure it's the first printing. Here's why. The second printings have the Canadian price tag as well. So it's got a US price and it's got a Canadian price. The first printings, if I'm not mistaken, do not have that. So that's what you're going to really want to pay attention to if you are looking for the first appearance of the New Mutants. I went ahead and looked up a GPA analysis of this book. And I'm only looking into the 9.8s at the moment, but let me see here. Okay, so yeah. So, you know, this book was pretty high. Shoot, this book was pretty high, you know, a few years ago. Actually, here's where it really took a hike from 2014 to 2015. Even in a 9.8, it was a $550 book, but it almost doubled in price between 2014 and 2015. Which lets you know that there was either some kind of movie announcement or some kind of indication that there was going to be a New Mutants movie eventually. I would have to believe that that was probably after some Deadpool announcement. Speculation started to rise and people started looking for the first appearance of the New Mutants, which was a smart idea in my opinion. But now this is about $1,000 book and a 9.8. Now we can look at a 9.6 and a 9.4. I don't think I'm going to go any lower than that. Just because if you look at the price here, even in 9.4, it's like a $180 book, and it's actually gone down. So it seems like this is just one of those books where people are just wanting 9.6s or 9.8s, and that's it. Otherwise, it's not really worth their time or money to be looking for one in a much lower, well, not much, but in a lower grade. So even 9.6 is a almost a $400 book. GPA 90-day average is $366. So this book is definitely taking a jump ever since we've gotten any kind of movie talk. I don't think it's out of reach for a lot of people. Word on the streets is that this is going to be a trilogy type of horror genre, superhero horror genre, whatever you want to call it. So this book is still definitely a book to have at least over the next 4 or 5 years. Who knows how popular this first movie is going to be, but this is definitely a book to look out for. I would probably look for it in the wild. LCSs and Comic-Cons are going to ask for an arm and a leg for this book. I wouldn't pay for it. I would either look for it on Instagram in the wild or trade or something like that. But it's definitely a book, in my opinion, that you almost need to be a New Mutants fan to have. I'm not a New Mutants fan. I have a copy of this. It's not graded, but it's signed by Bob McLeod and Chris Claremont. So anyways, we'll just yeah, we'll see what happens with this book. Also, one of the other books I wanted to look at was New Mutants number 14. Probably one of the most popular New Mutants is Magic, aka what's the name? Ileana Rasputin, which is Colossus's sister. This, they say, is her first appearance. First Ileana Rasputin as Magic. So maybe this is her first appearance as Magic, but not necessarily her first appearance. Let's look at what GPA has to say about this. GPA at a 9.8. This book is about $164 book. It's actually sold as high as $240 actually this year. But if you look at the jump from 2015 to 2016, it was like a $70 book. And then all of a sudden it just jumped 2.5 times what it was worth in 2015. Hey, what's up, Vernon? Vernon's in the house. Appreciate you stopping by, man. I decided to go ahead and do a GPA Saturday since I hadn't done one in forever. But Vernon, go ahead and put whatever books you want me to look at. Don't forget the grade in the comment section. I'll check it out. Yeah, I think he's referring to X-Men. I think it's Uncanny 160. Let's go ahead and look real quick because I have that book. And but when I Googled first appearance of Magic, they were also saying giant size X-Men number 1. So I don't know if there was a mention of her, if she showed up in Colossus's first appearance. I don't know. Okay, so here we go. It's Uncanny X-Men number 160 says first appearance of adult Ileana Magic. So apparently she was just a kid in New Mutants, but this is the adult version of her. We can check out and see what GPA is on that. Excuse me. Now, this is a book I probably would not look for in a 9 under 9.8. So this book seems to have been somewhat popular. I think. Let me see here. Okay. So right now, 90-day GPA analysis average has this as about $138 book and a 9.8. Not a very expensive book. Keep in mind, though, this is just the first adult appearance of Ileana. I probably wouldn't be looking for this. I would probably be looking for a New Mutants number 14. As a matter of fact, I come across a whole bunch of New Mutants, early New Mutants books over the past couple of years, and number 14 is one of the ones that's typically missing, along with the first appearance of Legion, which I think is like number 25 or 26. They're almost always gone. But there are some other books that I was able to find, which I'm actually going to be auctioning off tomorrow on the cheap, early New Mutants books, which are some first appearances. So definitely stick around for that. But so let me see. Let me go ahead and go in the comment section because there's actually some books that CGC fan wanted me to look up about a month ago. He wanted a quote on Detective 880. So I'm going to go ahead and look up that real quick. Wow. All right, what we got here? You want to Detective Comics 880 looked up in a 9.8. I don't even know what this is. Let me see if I can find it real quick. Oh, this book. Okay, yeah, it's a cool book, man. Okay, so Detective Comics 880 and a 9.8. Wow, that's a $420+ book. It's sold for as high as $476 at one point. What is the significance with this book? Is it just a cool cover? Oh, it's a Jacques cover. Okay, yeah. I've heard of Jacques. What's his name? Well, they just call him Jacques. But yeah, that is just a sick cover, man. So I could totally see why that's popular. Plus, it's pretty early Scott Snyder writing. I think his first Batman writing was like Detective 860 or something like that. So okay, so there you go, CGC fan. 90-day 90-day average is about $424. Last sale was actually this month at $475. What else did he want me to look up? He said Detective 122 CGC 2.0. 122. CGC 2.0. What is that? This is 122. Oh, okay. So this is the first. This is the first Catwoman cover. Oh wow, that is an old book, man. First Catwoman cover. He said in a 2.0, and I'm not even seeing a 2.0. I'm seeing a 3.0 and a 1.8. What this usually means is that there hasn't been any recorded in sales by GPA Analysis. That's why it's not showing up. And there we go. But you can just pretty much guess if a 1.8 sells for about 230, a 3.0 sells for about 500. You could probably say a 2.0 is like a $350 book. You know, it just depends. I would say at least a $300 book and a 2.0. So there you go, CDC fan. There's nothing recorded, but you can get a good idea of what to expect to pay or to sell based on a 1.8 and a 3.0 GPA analysis. And then he also wanted me to look up, what did he say? Detective 168 and a 4.0. Detective 168 and a 4.0, which is, let me see here. This, oh, this is the, what is this, the first Red Hood? And if I'm not mistaken, this is actually the Joker as the Red Hood. So this is the book that he's talking about. Origin of the Joker. Huh. Wow. A 4.0 is a $9,000 book. That is crazy. There's only been sold 4 of them sold all time so far. At least on sites that GPA can record and get data from. But man, in 2011, it was about a $1,500 book. And then 6 years later, one was sold for $9,000. That is crazy to me. Wow, that is crazy. So you got to be a hardcore Red Hood or Joker fan to pay that kind of money for a book like that. Jeez. And then another book you wanted me to look up was Batman 181, which is the first Poison Ivy, if I'm not mistaken. Batman 181. Give me a grade. They didn't give me a grade. Oops. Okay, so he did not give me a grade, but I think an 8.5 would be very high for a book like this. I'll just start out in like the 6.0 range. You know, oh man, there's no way it's gonna go back to 8. I pressed one of these for somebody, and the interior cover had a 1-inch tear. And this guy swears up and down it's going to come back as a CGC 8.0. I don't think so. I don't think it's going to come back that high, but time will tell. 6.0, you're looking at about a $500+ book. 5.0, you're looking at about a $450 book. I go to 4.0, you're still looking at about a $400 book. GPA average is 388. And then let me go on down to a 2.0. 2.0, well, that's pretty low. I mean, 2.0 isn't really that out of reach, in my opinion. 3.0, 260 plus $300 book, somewhere around there. First appearance of Poison Ivy right here, people. This is why I wanted me to look this up. So there you go. GPA 3.0 is about 260. 4.0 is about 388 average. 5.0 is about 450 average. 6.0 is about a $520+ book average. And anything more than that is pretty awesome, in my opinion, if you have it. Because a 9.8 is about $11,000 book. Probably more than that, because the last recorded one was in 2014. So I'd probably say it's like 20 to 25,000. Man, could you imagine having that book in a 9.8? Ooh, it'd be like a $25,000 book. I'd probably ask 30 for it. Dang, that's crazy. All right. He also wanted me to look up Bronze Age Marvel Star Wars #1 9.8. Oh, I know what he's talking about. Star Wars. Star Wars ran for like almost 10 years. Did he say 9.8? Yeah. Wow. 9.8. Okay. A lot of people got them for sale. Oh, wow. Okay. Wow, this book has really come down. Holy crap. This book sold as high as $3,000+ at one point, and look how much it's worth now. It's only worth about $1,100. Holy crap. Yo, this is, oh God, I just wish I could preach to people and tell them why it's important not to make these impulsive purchases, because you bought something for $3,000 and it will probably never see that. It will probably never go or sell for that price ever again. Ever. Dang, because it's really leveled out now. And it's leveled. I mean, the movies are still going. You did have episode 7, which was a couple years ago, and then you had Rogue One. So you pretty much set a trend now of having probably at least one Star Wars movie every year for probably the next 20 years. And even with the Star Wars movie, this book still continued to drop. So I think it's definitely going to plateau or level out at about $1,000 book. But man, I couldn't imagine spending $3,000 on this and looking at what it's worth now. I'd probably be sick. Man. Okay. He also wanted me to look up Brave and the Bold 28, which I don't know what that is. Oh, wow. First appearance in Justice League. Okay. Well, let's see if we can find it. First appearance of the Justice League. It's got to be this one. Number 28. Excuse me. He said in a 2.5. You know, one of the things I do want to mention real quick, when you have GPA analysis, really before you get down to the grades, the sales and averages of each grade, people, they always have this. It says, check out these live auctions available now for bidding. They're not necessarily just live auctions. They're also like for sale. Like this one right here says for sale. And it's been listed for sale for 30 plus days. He probably wants too much for it. Let's just look at what GPA averages real quick for 2.5. 2.5 GPA average is about a $2,600 book. Let's see what he's asking for, he or she. So it automatically takes you over to a My Comic Shop. And he's asking for about what GPA is, about 2,600. Let's see again. What's the GPA? 2625. So he wants almost retail for this thing. So if you were serious, if he was serious for selling, I'd probably offer him like maybe 2. That's not lowballing in my opinion. And see what he says. He'll probably come back with like 24 or 23. But anyways, because he's not going to have to deal with any fees or anything because it's going straight to his website. So he's not going to deal with any fees or anything like that from like he would with dealing with eBay. But anyways, it's just something to take note of because that's actually one of the things I like about GPA is you can go there and find books for sale that you probably wouldn't find on eBay. But you're probably going to you're probably going to pay retail for those books because people just ask for whatever it is they think they want for it. So, but you're probably also more ability to negotiate as well on this GPA analysis book selling portion of the website. Anyways, you also want me to look up Justice League number 1 in a 2.5. Excuse me. Oh, wait, no, Justice League of America. It's not Justice League. Here we go. This has to be it right here. He said a 2.5. And GPA analysis in a 2.5 is about a $574 book. It's actually sold as high as $800 a couple years ago, but it's really come down. So it's about a $574 book right now. Knowing that, let's see what somebody wants to sell theirs for in a 2.5. This one, and all right. So let's see what this person wants to sell theirs for. Again, it's My Comic Shop. He wants $875 for it. So he wants about $300 more than GPA. Now, one sold 10 days ago. Let's see what it sold for. Huh. Is this sold? No, it's not. It's a buy it now. So, oh, it's ending. Okay, so it's ending on the 19th. This is another one that started. So he wants, okay, so look at this. This one's even less, but I don't think he's going to get that either, because GPA is showing that that book is only worth about $575. So people think because there's a Justice League movie coming out that people are going to pay a lot of money for him, which they may, but I wouldn't, because if I'm not mistaken, it's not even the first appearance of any of the characters. It's just the first appearance of them as a team. Same thing with Avengers. If I'm not mistaken, it's not even the Wasp's first appearance. You're just getting the first appearance of those people as a team. So yeah, they're just asking too much money for this book right now. But you know, it is what it is. So, but I think I'm going to probably cut this short here in a little bit. I don't really have much going on in the chat. I want to thank Vernon Johnson for chiming in. I really appreciate that. I don't really have any other books to look up right now, but I am glad that we are back here with GPA Analysis, GPA Saturday, because there's a lot of things I want to talk about in future episodes. Like I said, please check us out tomorrow. We're going to be doing our 8th affordable auction. And after I get done with this video, I'm going to upload a video actually today showcasing all the books that I'm going to be auctioning off tomorrow as well. So stay tuned for that. Probably coming up in the next couple of hours. So, but that's it, everybody. I think I'm going to go ahead and sign on out. Let me go ahead and unshare my screen. Okay. Hey, thank you so much for watching. I always appreciate it. Please make sure you like, share, comment, subscribe as always. Keep God first in your life and enjoy your comic books. And I'll see you guys next Saturday. Take care, everybody. Have a great weekend. Peace.